Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello!
And where would any Adeptus Arbites army be without an Arbites judge?
Definitely.
A judge, they're so awesome. They're not called judges at all. However, the peasantry do call them judges. So they're badly named judges. The peasants would go, look out, a judge.
So they've got two names really.
Yeah. Just like policemen aren't called bobbies, but we call them bobbies.
Yeah.
We also call them other names, which I'm not allowed to say on YouTube.
No.
But it's not their official name. Their official name is a policeman, a man of the city. Right, so this is a judge. I'm going to call it a judge. All right, it's a marshal. I'm going to call it a judge.
Yeah.
Judges are the highest ranking members of the Arbites. Mm-hmm. Now, some planets will only have one judge. Some planets will have one judge or marshal, and he's it. He lives in a hut, probably a bunker of some kind, with a watchtower, and he's the only thing on the planet that represents the Arbites. Bigger planets have slightly more. You know, they have a few Arbites troops with them. Yeah. And really big planets have multiple judges, a high marshal, multiple precincts, and these guys are 10 a penny. Mm-hmm. But most planets, most planets will only have one judge. One judge, and maybe maybe a company at most of Arbites. This particular judge, I'll just go through his stuff and his stats, just to get that out of the way. He's carrying a plasma pistol. Yeah. Everyone knows what they do. Shock maul. Right, the shock maul is this pointer thing he's holding. It's a Rosaurus. It's a weapon the same as a chaplain would use. Mm-hmm. So it's just a strength 5 shock maul with a -1 save. It's nothing really that special.
No.
It's not a power sword. It's a shock maul. Yeah. So it's okay. It's 10 a penny though. Back to the old style of stuff. 8th edition has managed to bring back the old grenades. I mentioned it in the previous game thing we did. Choke grenades. He's equipped with choke grenades. Choke grenades are great. They suck the oxygen out of the atmosphere and will choke even space marines. Yeah. Because space marines have a filter, it's not actually an enclosed suit. Yeah. Will do nothing to Terminators. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't notice because they have internal breathing. And they do have a breastplate, but they haven't. They wear void hardened armor. Yeah. So they wouldn't bother them. When they need, they breathe normal oxygen through a filter, but they do have internal. They can switch to internal. Yeah. Frag grenades as a standard, and 1 melter bomb. Mm. Now, why would Arbites be carrying a melter bomb? It's called a door opener.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you need to open a door occasionally.
So it's a lockpick.
You can it's a lockpick. That's it. It's a lockpick. So if you need to kick a door in, you could hurt your knee. Yeah. I've done that, kicking doors.
It takes a lot of effort.
It does. It takes effort. So instead, you just stick a melter bomb on the door.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you find your planet invaded by chaos, melter bomb comes in pretty handy. Yeah. Pretty handy.
That's pretty cool.
So this figure is actually the body. Is the body of an Imperial Guard. Just a standard Imperial Guard body, but I've put over the top the body of the top half of the body is Scions, Imperial Scions. Yeah. And then it's got the Scion servo skull flying over the top. Yeah. Probably the head of the previous marshal. Yeah. Nice little trench coat that makes it look nice and sort of, because you get all the dirt and stuff on it. It's a bit scruffy. So yeah, it just looks cool. Yeah. The head, just like the other heads of the other figures I did, is made of a to make it look like a judge's helmet. Yeah. It's from the Mechanicus box set.
Oh, right.
So if you get the Mechanicus box set and you give everybody a hood, then you end up with 12 of these heads spare. So you can make up a squad, 12 judges, 12 Arbites with, you just get an Imperial Guard box, swap out the Arbites heads. Yeah. Swap out the heads from the Mechanicus, you're sorted. And we had loads spare anyway, so it didn't matter. Other special rules, it has a Rosarus. Oh, that's it. It's not a Ros. What did they call the weapon used by
Not like a hammer.
Yeah, the maul used by
I forgot the name of that.
Yeah, never mind. Anyway, he's got a defensive shield.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Gives him 5+ unmodified save. Units inbound. It's a special rule for all. I should have mentioned it in the dogs video. I didn't, but it's a special rule. Units inbound is you can only start with. Oh no, sorry. It's the other way around. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'll start with the other one, which is a thin black line. Right. The thin black line special rule is a Arbites rule, and you can only start with 1 HQ and half your army on table at any one time. However, you also have units inbound, which means any troops coming in after the first turn arrive as if they're deep striking. So they're not deep striking troops, but they know the streets like the back of their hand, and they can just quickly arrive. They know how to get where they're going, so they can just appear 9 inches away from the enemy without any need for rolls. So it is a bit of a downer starting with half your army off board, but it's kind of a bonus because you can then deep strike the rest of your army. So, and of course it's a HQ choice because he's the guy in charge of the judges. So I think that's more or less it, unless you've got anything you want to add.
No, I think I think you've explained everything that it does, and I mean, what would it do amongst your troops? What would it give you, an actual addition of firepower, or is it like?
No, it's just an officer.
So it doesn't really do anything.
It's just your HQ choice. It's the only HQ choice that the Arbiters have.
Oh, okay.
So he could. Sadly, rule-wise, and I'd like it to be a bit more like a commissar. Whereas if an Arbites unit broke, then you would only remove one figure. You take a leadership test, and any number you get over your leadership dies, or is removed because they run away. It would be useful if a judge could execute any recruits who run away. In which case you would only lose one trooper. But you can't do that. They don't use that. That's not in the rules. So it's a shame, but it would be useful if you could do that job. I would assume you could also add a commissar to the army, enabling you to do that.
Maybe. Yeah. So basically it's just basic, isn't it? Just a basic marshal.
Well, it's a basic HQ choice.
Yeah.
The downside to this particular army is the only HQ choices you have are judges, as in the high-ranking marshals.
Yeah.
But you can have multiple ones. There's no limitation as to how many marshals you can have. Technically, you could make a squad of marshals, like a HQ squad full of marshals. Because they're judges. They don't work like a normal Imperial Guard army where you have a colonel who is in command. It's not that sort of army.
Yeah.
So you could have multiple judges, and one would be the senior judge, and this guy here would probably be the senior judge, and then you could have another number of actual judges. Although technically, as far as the peasantry are concerned, Arbites, regular troops, are also judges to them, even though they don't have the experience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this guy's great because law-wise, he outranks a Inquisitor.
Yeah.
So he would actually outrank Imperial Guard troops as well. He in a situation, he would outrank anything other than maybe a Space Marine. A Space Marine officer. A Space Marine officer outranks everybody.
Yeah.
So they can technically be subordinate to an Imperial Guard general, an Astra Militarum general.
Yeah.
But even then, they're seconded. They are working alongside. An Imperial Guard unit cannot give orders to the Space Marines. They can give advice.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy can actually order anybody around, but again, not Space Marines. And anyway, why would Space Marines get involved in their
Good point.
trouble
Yeah.
anyway?
Yeah. Not really want to do with that.
Yeah. So that's it. That pretty much ends the series on this army.
Yeah.
We've finished it.
Yeah.
So
So let us know what you think.
yeah, and I hope you've liked the presentation that we've done. It's all been a bit ad hoc. We haven't done any
No.
writing down research or anything.
No.
This is all pretty much on the fly. Because we're trying to get these out of the way because we've got the campaign coming very soon.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Yeah.
We've got one more army video to do,
Yep.
which is to introduce our first Nurgle troops.
Yep.
And then the campaign starts.
That's it.
So that's it. Look out for the campaign. It will be here. Is it the weekend yet?
No.
It's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
Bye.